Hello and welcome to episode 11 of our Timberborn 1.1 experimental Iron Teeth hard mode playthrough on the Timberpunk 2 map. That's a whole lot of stuff to get through. Cycle 10, day 1. And we are, predictably, in a pretty good spot, but not in a great spot. Let's hit pause. Everyone's favorite thing I do in these. Because we want to establish a few things that really should be fixed before we get too far into a temperate cycle. And a couple things that really should be fixed before we have another bad tide. So, right off the bat, in no particular order, when I placed these pumps in, there are a few of you who pointed out that I had made some, shall we say, suboptimal placements for a lot of this stuff. And we have the ability right now to correct this to a certain degree. So let's take these two deep water pumps out, and let's instead rebuild them so that we can maximize what is accessible to the deep areas. We have plenty of planks. So if I just put a platform right here, I can stick this guy. Actually, that was the wrong button. I meant to press F. There we go. I got two here. And then, of course, they're going to put that in the weird spot. Then, with minimal weeping or gnashing of teeth, I can have both of these pumping from the lowest area. And if I go ahead and just put one more platform in, then I can have 3 pumps that can get from the lowest area. And there's probably a better way to do it. Yeah, we know. But this is going to be a big improvement. And most importantly, is going to keep more beavers pumping longer when it really counts. Another thing we desperately need to do is put storage for more water over in this area. Now, the reason why I had not put medium tanks in was because we weren't reliably producing planks or gears. We kind of still aren't, but we have enough to do something at the very least. So I'm going to put a medium tank here, just so these guys can all go into here, and then this can be prioritized by haulers, say, as a supply. That will be fine. We'll let them take care of what they got to take care of. That's already marked. These aren't going to be able to be easily moved to get to the deep part without, redoing a whole bunch of stuff. I am going to keep these, I think, for the time being paused so we can focus on getting the beavers where pumping is actually going to work, like right here. Builders can take care of that. We've got these guys pumping here. That's totally fine. We just need to make sure we have as much water as possible. And even all of this, were it working to full strength, would not be enough. Let's pause this discharge. Should be okay until this overflows. I'm going to run this very briefly just to even out our numbers here. There we go. We're down to -2, which is really +5, counting these. We have 3 bots, and we have this guy at 74%. As soon as this one's done, we can't make any more bots, and then this one will need to be paused, the bot assembler. But that's not something we need to worry about at this exact moment in time. We need to come up here. This is what I had started doing last episode, building a geothermal engine here. I did place a charging station that also needs to be built. And then the idea is that the bots can have their own district up here where all they do is just build. I don't want it to be this district, because this is where we send the poison beavers to, live out their days completely happy and free and devoid of any suffering whatsoever. But this area here also really needs to be developed. And sending biobeavers up here is not going to be the best way to go about it. So I am going to let these guys finish doing what they're doing here. The charging station here, obviously, because this is going to be the easiest way to get power in. But we do need to make progress in this area. So if we evaluate real quick before we get too much further, getting trees to be able to build all this is not going to be that big of a deal. Also, there is wood and planks right here we can easily connect to. We do need to build a geothermal engine here. We have vertical power shafts unlocked. Pretty simple to just come in here and build the rest of this. I don't really want to complicate it too much. But this would be a very good opportunity for us to just get power up here. Might be... It's not going to be the most efficient thing ever. I know this comes up constantly, and I always feel kind of bad doing it, but just got to do what we got to do. put a charging station up here, and then they can really get to work with a bunch of this stuff. So now we have some logs, some planks. We have regular water, more regular water. We've got kohlrabi, we've got berries. We do have eggplant rations for emergency food. And we will need some gears to build the rest of this. So what I will probably go ahead and do, prioritize these vertical power shafts and this charging station. Let these be done first, because at that point I can then separate all of these paths, and then they just have the bots do all of this. These will be quick to build. But that is going to also require we have more metal parts, so we do have to turn this back on. Log accessibility, now that this is connected, may end up actually being kind of a problem. I'm gonna disconnect this so we're not pulling from here to serve projects down here when we could easily just cut down some trees. Well, I shouldn't say easily, I should say more easily. Cut down some trees over here that we have some sort of access to. Although looking at this now, I don't really see that many more that can be cut outside of here, and I don't see a lumberjack flag in this area either. Well, we can kind of fix that. I just have to find a spot to stick one of these. Right here seems like it's fine. Just mark all these little birches for cutting. There's other trees elsewhere that would be good to get cut, but we don't really have great access to. I don't have a reliable path to get over here. This is obviously flooded. This area here with all these oak trees is fantastic for wood, but as you may have seen, it is currently flooded. It will drain. It will take time. We're not there yet. So that should cover all the emergency maintenance stuff over here. I think we're probably okay to pause this lumber mill. I still want to keep one of them going, but we don't really have a whole lot of stuff going anyway right now. Yeah, I think I do have to have all those set up. But food-wise, this is okay. Number cruncher being paused is good because we don't really have a need for all the extra science right now. These being paused is fine. We can't really build them. What else? I know we talked about putting in a water wheel here to generate some extra power. We don't currently need extra power, but we'll want to keep that in our back pocket. I think probably this is okay for now. Not great, not terrible, but okay. The really scary thing is up here where we have all of this bad water pooling. These bad water sources have not even activated yet, and this is already this bad. This, of course, is a bad water seep that can't be easily defeated due to the proximity of the bad water source. And at some point, this is going to overflow and come down here. So we want to prevent that from happening, and it's probably not going to be super hard to just put in this exact spot, since there's nothing down here, a couple of levees, except this. Just want to make sure I don't miss any opportunities. Yeah, that was coming down there. This is a full blockage. Yeah, this is going to be kind of annoying to build, actually, isn't it? Because I can't get to this without being down there. You can't build below terrain without it being annoying. This might drain, but at some point I just need to find a good spot to block it off. This is probably still the most convenient way to do it. You might have noticed, we don't have a lot of logs. But probably worth just putting a couple of these in here. Same kind of deal right here. That's going to get that blocked off to... Let's just get the height down to this level here. Okay. So this is the maximum height that this could support. This would drain... Not drain. That's just a regular bad water seep. Does this have an outlet in this form? It does not. There is an unstable core that when that blows up will give us access to there. I need to get this back up so I can see exactly what I am. There we go. Yeah, so this is the situation we're in. This is going to overflow spectacularly. Can we go one higher and get access to anywhere else? Not really. But I do think this is going to be the easiest, fastest, cheapest, whatever way to handle this. Regrettably, very, very slow process. But we do need to try. And we may need to blast out to get access to some other way to divert this. Yeah, see, even if you come all the way up here, this just has a single wide, and that's not going to be enough. And this would be very, very expensive and time-consuming to block off. So maybe we don't really need to worry about doing this. I don't know, but multiple people brought this up, and I think this is a very important thing for us to try to do. I don't see this being a viable thing long-term. Unless we're able to really, really, really figure something out. But I am aware. These are still dormant for the time being, so I don't know, we have at least 3 days before we have a complete apocalypse on our hands. There's still a couple things I want to look at. I know the game is still paused, I'm sorry, but I really want to try to get as much of this taken care of as I can. Talked about moving the pumps. Oh, there's one more thing. This right here. I've been told I should consider raising this, and, you know, you're probably right. Presently, it's not a huge issue, but I am going to, since we know this is a thing, I'm going to give this an opportunity to be extended. This will be... Yeah, it'll be necessary to go up maybe one more like this, and that will require a ladder to get up to the top of these things. Tell you what, I will unpause that one, and I will instead... No, you know what, I'll just leave it alone. They can build this, but it'll be deprioritized. Because I feel like this is... It's going to be a mistake if I don't take care of this sooner rather than later. But I don't want it to be a priority. I just want it to be a thing. Wait a second. Oh, I took the stairs away because I needed them to come down here. Okay. Well, we know that's not going to be a problem because we already took care of it. Let's remove those paths here. I know we don't have to, but it does look nicer that way. I'll put these back in. That can be a deprioritization there, and that is already... Yeah, okay, so that's fine. We can leave that alone. Unstable cores. I've been alerted to these being an issue. This... I didn't even know there was one there. Okay, so that is going to open up a bad water seep. We have 10 days. That's just going to constantly flood this and also take out part of our natural bridge across here. Now, I probably should be concerned about this, but I'm going to say it's probably not that huge of a deal right now. But it's... What's the phrase, death by 1,000 cuts? This is... In the scheme of 1,000 cuts, this is probably at least 45 cuts. But we'll... what does that even mean? At least we know this is a thing now and we have 10 days. But we're not going to be able to stop it. And then, wait, is that the same... Well, that's convenient. Does this also open up a... There's a whole thing back here. Okay. Wait, is any of this even connected to bad water? Or is that's a geothermal field? This is blocked in. What's connected? How did this get... Oh, because this is connected here. Okay. Well, this isn't necessarily, you know, a horrible thing. It's not a great thing. This blockage here, should we be able to come through here, would allow us to get into this area with all the ruins, scrap metal, etc. And then I do know that this has been blocked off from the top. So that's a thing. One more... Okay, I shouldn't say one more. I should say a couple more things before we unpause. Yes, I am aware this is going to become an absolute nightmare at some point, but it's not right now. This thing is still dormant, and once it goes off, yes, it is going to uncork this bad water source and cause a lot of grief over here. But it's not the height that we're at. We are taller than that currently. And this area right here can't go down. We're probably okay-ish. let's check out these flooded buildings. These that are currently flooded, if we set to empty, I've been told they will ignore the flooded building warning, and it looks like they do. This down here, I'm assuming it's one of these. Yeah, if we just go ahead and do this, then we can preserve the flooded building warning as an actual Mayday call. So thank you, I forget who it was who suggested we do that. And now we just have the warnings we already knew about, and hopefully nothing else at this exact moment in time. Okay, 17 minutes into the video, unpause. Well, everyone who's left watching these is here for the long haul at this point. We're going to let them take care of what they got to take care of. We're going to monitor the bots and hopefully be able to get more wood and get these things started so that we can have a better shot of having this area actually genuinely prepared for beavers to inhabit should horrible things happen to our area down here. And there is enough emergency food up here to keep a small subset of beavers alive for about a cycle-ish if we are careful. So we're going to let this stuff continue to drain. This dynamite here, I do think probably still needs to be removed. Removed as in set off, but we don't have access to the dynamite yet because we had not pathed over here because this had not yet been cleared. So now that's hooked up. We want to either use or move the dynamite so that we can use this to put more scrap metal in. And right now, we don't have the ability to make dynamite because we have not researched the explosives factory. We do, however, have the ability to do that. We have the science, and we can, within some reasonable amount of time, get the materials to build it. And we have bad water stored up because we already got it out of this cave over here. So we'll do that at some point. For now, I think it is probably fine to just build a simple, small warehouse and pop the dynamite in there, the explosives, whatever you want to call it. So that will happen as well once they, you know, get a little bit more work done on this side. Just kind of have to let it be what it's going to be. These guys building, they are, what are you? Good, putting planks in, putting gears, logs are going to be a whole thing. It's just the vertical power shafts with the gears, since the gears are not available up here, at least not that I've seen so far, are definitely things we should be doing first, along with having the charging station built so that the bots can charge themselves once this is actually complete. Just got to let it be what it's got to be. Probably don't need to keep saying that a billion times. I know there was a water source aquifer, whatever, over here. Oh, here it is. The ancient aquifer drill. Something we can get to. We also have materials down here. Ah, yes, more explosives. Those are useful. We don't have access yet. Okay, that one can't go there. We will want to have access somewhere. I think I'm going to have to... Well, I do have ladders. I maybe should be doing ladders instead. Yeah, sure, we'll do that. Just to get this kind of easily accessible here. I know the pathing is not ideal. It's not straight. It's going to be okay. Don't need to worry about it. Is that attaching there? Yes, it is. Okay. Because we want to clear these out, but we probably don't need to prioritize clearing them out, and we want them to be used in this area once we have bots able to work up here. Did they build? No, not yet. Okay, they're still working on that. Still working on this. Metal parts are, you know, being slow as metal parts will be. Injured beavers. Building all these was a good call. Well-being still an important thing. We will have to get there when we get there. Probably should also do some automation just to get the number crunchers and the pumps a little bit more easily automated. Right now it's still simple enough for us to manage as we have the ability to. Just don't want to waste labor if I don't have to. Okay, so this is now in pumping range. Just about. I'll turn these on. They do have a thing here. Make sure these are all set to prioritize by haulers so that they can be emptied and these guys don't have to go all over the place. Don't need to run this in triple speed all the time. And we built our 4th bot, so that can be paused, save us a little bit of power and some beaver labor. This is built. This is waiting on metal parts. How about over here? Okay, that one's done, and that one is done. Good. Big hurdle is the charging station with the 2 more metal parts, and then geothermal engine won't be hard to build. I can just send the bots up here to a separate district as soon as the charger's complete. As soon as 1 charger's complete. See, we already have 2 bots out of power, and they're not going to do too well. You see how incredibly slow they're going. They got a minus 75% movement speed, and this one's carrying parts to this destination, so yeah, you got to keep them powered. We do actually have a charging station, but it's so far away that it's, you know, really not a great thing right now. Somehow have a homeless beaver even after all this. Okay, we're in the process of getting these built because we don't have a lot of logs, but that's going to be great once those are up and running. This is being emptied out by the haulers. That's good. These guys can just focus on doing what they've got to do. This isn't going to stop, by the way, because it is a regular bad water source. We can't really turn it off. Same kind of deal here. Bad water source, water seep, bad water seep. It would probably not be super hard to just block this off and divert it up here. But we will have to do a little bit of dynamiting, or we have to just be okay with this being flooded. Overall, this should slowly drain as we have the ability to get more of this kind of sectioned off here. Yeah, this is still coming through like this, still rushing through here, and this is very slowly draining here. We might not actually see this drained enough to be useful until a drought. Alright, come back up here. Okay, so this is built. They're working on building the rest of these things now. That is fine. What is flooded? The shower's flooded. Okay, well, that's a little bit of irony right there. This is not a proper shower tower, per se, but it is still a shower. This is now filling up enough to put some extra beavers in. Again, we really want to make sure these guys can do as much as possible. So that's already set and built. Thank you, beavers, for taking care of that. These are at 100%, or this one is at 100% at least. And now we have 3, 5, 8, 10 beavers pumping over here, which is great. It might actually outpump the aquifer here. We got 3 here. So we got 13 beavers pumping. And this is filling up reasonably quickly. We are going to want to build more storage, but right now I think the parts to build these are maybe just a little bit more important. We have 1 bot out of power. I'm going to let the biobeavers probably finish this, and then we'll separate everything up here. This is... Oh. Okay. Now it's connected. So we have all these different materials, all these different things to do. Start clearing, establishing farming up here would be very, very, very good. This ancient aquifer drill obviously is not a perfect solution, but it will get us somewhere. We have a natural dam and bad tide approaching warning. Okay, go back to single speed. I don't know that there's really much else we can do, honestly, to prepare, except just, you know, keep on pumping like our lives depend on it, because guess what? They do. But we've done reasonably well with most of this. I think corn might be an issue. I do technically have beavers available to run the food factory, so I'll turn that back on. Cassavas aren't being harvested yet because they haven't grown. That's fine. Having all these beavers in farms is good. At some point we're going to want a lot more storage for food, but I think building out the rest of this is maybe just a tiny bit more important. Trees here, we already talked about this. I really want to start irrigating in this area if we can, but I feel like, you know, we're already kind of in a spot where the water is going to be an issue. I've got 3 days left. I want to fill my storage first before I worry about the water level that's left in here. We're going to leave that be. They didn't start doing anything here, did they? Okay, they kind of did. But this being a bad tide again is potentially going to be troublesome. if these start popping off, which they will. Yeah, in terms of limiting water ingress, bad water ingress at least, we may want to focus on maybe this area. Could be a better way to kind of protect stuff, because remember, this also has to drain out, and this has, come on, autosave, a single wide exit. And as more stuff gets opened up here, we already have these 2 drains here, and we have other stuff that's going to be an issue. So if we, say, go down to this level, we block this off and remove this natural dam, then that could go out this backside, but there's more stuff that has to be removed. It wouldn't be the end of the world. But that is a bad water source that's basically never going to be off unless it's a drought. Does that drain anywhere? No, but over here we have this that will drain down to this in a way, coming up this way, which also drains down here. Yeah, there's so much happening here. Oh, that one also is dormant. So much happening here, it's not really easy to just do something, you know. Again, there's just so many things I'm trying to keep up with. We have not done anything on this end of the map, something people brought up. People also brought up this area, but the amount of bad water that's over here is going to kind of preclude me from wanting to work, at least with biobeavers. Bots, however, if we have the bots up here completely separated, can do this no problem. And as long as this doesn't rise enough to be an issue, then we'll be okay. This is actually fully connected, so I think it's probably about time. Right here at the top of the stairs, I'm going to cut it off. And then I think we can leave this still accessible to the biobeavers for now. But maybe we want to spend, especially during a bad tide, want to spend time with the bots over here, trying to improve this area, get access to a little bit more explosives, and solve problems that way. This needs to be detonated. That'll help flow through here just a little bit. And we can't really increase capacity in the tunnels, so the diversion is really the only way here. Bots also, you know, part of why I want to disconnect this. Bots can come through here and remove this natural dam, no problems, because we can send them on stairs down into this little thing here. We just have to get all the biobeavers out. Okay, now all of this aside, let's disconnect these guys, the biobeavers, and the bots to a certain extent. Will automatically leave here, and I will make the district center. It doesn't have to be bots forever, but for right now, this will be, it's not District 1. We'll just call this Botland. I do usually run polls for people to name districts. I have not done that for the last couple playthroughs because I've avoided using districts, but I will probably put up a poll to have people name this. I just picked that because it's, you know, has to have a name. But this needs to be bots only. This needs to be paused. I think it automatically removed all the biobeavers from stuff here. So I only have 2 available jobs, and that should be right here. Should be no other buildings, I don't think, if we click to bot... No, come on. We're in Botland. Workplaces. Okay, that was the only other one that's paused, and that is set to bots. So, since we have 4 bots, come on, autosave, thank you. Let's migrate our population here. Let's send from Beaverburg, let's send our bots. Just do that. Now we have 4 bots. They are free builders. And I think, yeah, we were already working on getting access to this to get down here. Let's mark these trees just in this line, because I know we have so many other trees going on. I'm going to move this lumberjack flag to, say, right here. They can take care of that. This is now completely separated. This, of course, biobeavers are going to finish what they're doing and then leave it alone. Then we're going to want to get down here. We talked a little bit about the ledge logging mod being super useful, so going to give it a chance to shine here and pop that. We need ladders, yes, but ladders are more expensive to build. Okay, they're not really expensive enough to justify gymnastics, so why don't we just do this? Make sure this is actually disconnected. It is. Alright. I want the bots to come down in here, like we said, and be able to handle all of this mess. So putting ladders down here will allow them to do just that. They can remove these brambles. They're not brambles, whatever. Thorns. And get excess. There you go. That's exactly how that's pronounced. Good job. Come in here, clean some stuff out. Maybe if we get the science. We almost have the science, actually. That's not the right one. To unlock the bad water pressurizers. The issue is metal and gears. Metal's not going to be that hard for us to get set up here now that we have quote-unquote permanent power, but we are going to have to be deliberate about how we get stuff going. Anyhow, we're still on pace to have a pretty full water storage before this bad tide. The last one was what? How many days? Like 12, 13, 14? I don't know. If you just watched the last episode, then you probably remember, but the last time I played that was a couple days ago, and I got a bunch of stuff going on, so I don't remember. Let's turn this back on. It's at 99%, which I think is fine. Not worried about that last 5 HP, but we do want this to be full for irrigation purposes. And then this isn't going to have a chance to really fill up because they're pumping so much. I feel like probably we're going to want... Why is this bot... Oh, because this guy was out of power and he didn't even get transferred yet. Well, that'll be fine. Anyway, long story short, I feel like I want to pause 2 of these pumps. Give this a chance to fill up a little bit more so that we can continue pumping during a drought, because I do want this to spill over in here. Maybe should have made it a floodgate. You know how it goes. The most remote pumps, these I will also shut off. So we got these 2 here with a storage that is prioritized, and we have 3 of these with bigger storages. That should be enough to keep those going the last 1.8 days or whatever. Get this level up, maybe spill over. I'm not actually sure if it can. Maybe I shouldn't be this worried about it. I have a hard time avoiding being worried, as you may have guessed. Alright, so their 4th one is still not really doing much. Durability on these guys, 84%. We are going to want to start making more bots at some point soon, but we do, of course, have to have the ability to do tech tree things. Okay, they started doing that. Started doing this. This is most likely going to overflow during this bad tide. But because since we have all of this capacity, this may only fill up this bowl during a bad tide, depending on how big of an issue it's going to be. Remember, these are all dormant, so the only thing in here that could possibly be an issue is the bad water seep, which isn't going to get any higher than this, and then anything that drains into here, which I will admit I have to... Oh, this is a dormant water source. That's not even a drain. I thought it might have been a drain. Okay. Well, maybe we do want this to come up. I don't know. There's just so many things up here. That's right. I was checking to see if anything drains into this. Doesn't seem like it does yet, but this is going to be scary when it goes, so we still want these guys taking care of stuff. Okay, this is filling up slowly. I don't think the level of this is actually raised that much. Let's, okay, it is going up. Just not super quick. Food continues to slowly improve a little bit. What else? What else do we really want to be doing? This is a BioBeaver coming up here. That's fine. Okay, this bot is going up to his district he's supposed to be in. That's fine. Oh, this is now that this is disconnected, I really need to come in here with a staircase so I can get them around. Now that this is bots only, it's not going to be a problem. I want to demolish this so that all of this bad water, or some of it at least, can drain into this, well, drain. And slowly stop the amount of bad water coming in here from being quite so bad. Maybe this should actually be a priority. Let's do that. That's a little bit more important than playing with this, even though this is important. And so is this, but we got to get these guys with something to do. Just have to make sure there's no biobeavers up here, because I absolutely would forget. Okay, that's fine. Getting tree farming up here going would be tremendous. Tremendous, even. I know. I know. I'm sorry, but I'm not that sorry. Yeah, we're probably okay. Levels going up. I just need this to spill over enough to where I don't have to dump water on this. Not that it's really going to take that much. This doesn't need to be set to empty anymore. This needs to be set to... Oh, it's a warehouse, not a... It's a warehouse, not a pile. That was dumb. I don't know. I guess I probably just misread people's comments about it. Anyway, I think this is worth having another thing over here. And we'll just leave this alone, because I do want to get stuff out of this. Water here is good. Let's get these hooked up. At some point, this is going to be, you know, inaccessible because of poisoning, and there's a lot of stuff in here that we really should be taking advantage of. Just let that be what it's got to be. Okay. Otherwise, we're looking okay. Looking okay. Yeah, let's just get this on triple speed. Flooded building. This, which means we can pause this aquifer drill again. We will turn it back on briefly before the drought starts. 5 days for the unstable cores we could do absolutely nothing about. That's fine. 4 days. Yeah. Okay. Good. This has now started filling this area, which we do want this, because that's going to make this pumpable with absolutely no regrets. So having stuff come through here is very, very good. I have one vacancy. I think that's because this guy is still out of power. Why? Or is that because I built the... okay. It's because I have them all as builders. Let's deprioritize that so I can get somebody in here. Oh, this isn't set to... Okay. There we go. That was the problem. See, you gotta pay attention, folks. Got to. Got to. Alright. Planks. Don't tell me I used all my planks. I used all my planks. Okay. Well, how much? We got 3 logs. Okay. Alright, well, is this a real cheesy way to do this? Yeah. Are we gonna do it? Yeah. Let's build this immediately, fill it with planks, and then I'm gonna put it in the other district. That's just the way that goes. That guy's done. Population probably can still stand to be shrunk a little bit. That's at 50%. That's at 14, 13. Okay, that's probably okay. Yep, this is still taking its sweet time to drain. Definitely going to help not having this here. I really should have built this before they even got anywhere close to this. We got more logs, but I can't access it without using more planks, so, you know, that is what it is. Oh, they're going to build the storage for the planks with the resources from the other district, because that's absolutely how that works. Well, it's fine. We do need the planks here one way or another, and that's going to be probably the best way to do it. All right, we got half a day. Let's turn this back on. Check our power consumption. Yeah, it's mostly fine. For this last bit, I am going to pause all of these pumps so that we can get as much water pouring into here and here as possible through the overflow. That we already talked about. That's fine. Some of these oak trees, yeah, in the next couple of days are going to be cuttable. So that's all well and good. Somebody left a comment saying, hey, you should put the gatherer flag up here. Yeah, we probably should. Not a huge priority right now, but that is on the list. Why don't we, since this is not going to be a danger anymore. Put those guys in there. And I believe that is about all we can realistically do to keep this as high as possible. Okay, this is not filled yet, and it's the end of the workday, so it's not going to be. But there's not much else we can do in that regard. Safe power here shouldn't pretty much ever be in danger. This is a pretty safe, for now, area. So that's looking good. I know we definitely want to send somebody in here, but we'll take care of that as soon as we have planks, which we have 9. Theoretically, I don't need more than 9, but no, they're already... yeah, they're dropping off the rest of these planks here. We'll let them fill it up, and then we'll swap it over. Yeah, this is probably about as good as this is going to get, honestly. I'll go ahead and put a beaver in here pumping, because that can definitely go. It's going to evaporate quickly anyhow. And you know what? I think we are probably good. Let's just really put a lot of effort into diverting bad water during this bad tide, because we're going to know where it is, because we're going to see it. And that's going to help a lot. How many days? 12 days, and we have our 3-day warning for the indestructible cores. Unstable cores. Now let's do our swap over here. Congratulations, Botland, you now have planks. There they go, so they can get done with that. I am going to leave this paused for just a moment. Make sure I have everything set the way I want it to. These, again, do not draw power during a bad tide or drought. Number cruncher on. Other things that consume power. Okay, this minorly flooded at the end. That's fine. 1800 water actually seems pretty good. I'm going, excuse me, to pause these 3 pumps. We're not going to pump from here if we don't have to. I want to keep this as irrigated as I can. And what that's going to allow me to do, get beavers in the smelter. Because I know we're going to want to have gears, but I don't necessarily want to burn through my planks that fast. I think, because there's still a lot of work that the bio beavers can do as builders. We probably would not regret finishing these builders' huts, especially because we have all these planks. Make sure those are deprioritized. They are. That'll help us, you know, utilize most of our workers. And then we can really get to work on doing things that do not involve going into bad water in this district. Putting in other things to get the most out of our ruins, excavations, and everything. And let's see. If we could make more dynamite, which we probably should start during this bad tide, then we can begin augmenting drains and giving us a little bit of a better fighting chance here. Okay. Power-wise, our mess of a network is laid out like this. This is full of gear. Well, it's not full of gears, but it has gears. Fermented cassava and cassava things are extremely empty. This will not transmit power. This will if I build something here. So let's just do this. I'm trying to keep this as compact as I can. We have tons of planks, so I'm not going to feel bad about leaving this here. Explosives factory. I have half as many metal parts as I need, but that could just be a capacity issue, and it is. All right. Yeah, let's do that. I want to make sure these... okay, this isn't really that many. Not really that big of a deal. There we go. They got transferred to the thing anyway. I lied. I want to flip this. No, not that button. I want to flip with an F. There we go. Now this, since I have a explosive thing right there, it's not the worst spot for that to go, but I do think it would make more sense for us to move this here. Or, because we have the technology, why don't we build a bridge across here, and then this would be a much easier place for us to set up storage, because this is not, you know, land we can grow on. Gotta be careful not to use too many logs, but I don't know that we need to have a 200 capacity warehouse for dynamite. because we probably shouldn't be making that much of it. But the bad water is right here. Pretty convenient location if we also build a bridge here. Good access to that. Also improves connectivity over here. And I think, honestly, this might be fine to just leave this like it is. Make sure we set that to explosives. That's going to cause injuries. We do know that, but it's fine. All right. Unpause. This will slowly unflood. I don't think we need to be that worried about it. Yeah, it's already going down. This is no longer putting anything out. It is slightly draining through here, which is okay, but it will stop sometime soon. They actually did do basically everything here. All right, well, that makes me feel good about putting in a another set of levees here and here to make this one more level higher. Give us a little bit more protection. How are we doing up here? Did they build this? Okay, good. They are in the process. Let's get that done. And oh, look, our fearless bot goes to work right here, getting rid of this natural dam that should help relieve some of our pressure, and maybe not flood this quite as bad. Yeah, because this is really, really coming down here. This, you know, this amount won't get worse, but it just adds to these other problems we've got. All right. Let's just see how this goes. I do want to check on these other flooded buildings, because now I have some concerns. Ah! Yes. I forgot about this. So assuming all of these are right here, which they are, we can safely ignore. This area here is... Oh, good! Good, good, good. I mean, not good that it's filling up, but it's good that, you know, working on this actually would prevent some stuff from coming out. Yeah, because that's coming out of... What was this? A seep? Or is it a... Ah! Oh no, we talked about this! We can actually pretty easily defeat this by just building platforms with permeable floors on it, and we probably should. That will be on the list. Well, it's all on the list to a certain extent. Just have to be able to, you know, actually do it. Okay, so this got removed. The amount of flow into here is not quite as much as I originally thought. But it still is most likely helping. Okay, this has stopped flowing through here. I guess builders are doing this because they have nothing else going on. They did finish those. That's good. Power-wise, we're looking pretty good. They haven't finished this, and this is going to draw a decent amount of power, 150. So we may want to pause some other things. 1900 water. This is full enough. I'm going to feel comfortable turning probably just 2 of these back on. Actually, if I'm going to only have 2 of them on, it should be the 2 closest ones. Right there to this thing. I want to try to keep as many of these in the things as possible. Seems like that's fine. The amount of flow through here, I am pretty confident in saying is not going to be a big deal if we just block it off. So why don't we do that? And then that will for sure stop all of it. And then we know coming through here is not going to be an issue. I just didn't want to automatically flood this if we didn't have to, because this is a depression that drains this way, and we are attempting to use this. This right now is a regular or a drain water source. I probably should have gone to dev mode to actually look at that, but I've been trying to avoid doing that, because I like the authentic experience of playing the game. Do I have enough to... Technically no, but I also have lumberjacks here. I might as well just mark all of this, since we're no longer in a time crunch to get that taken care of. Just want this to be built so it stops. Alright, now look at that. We have no more coming from down here. This is all being diverted. It is not flooding. Take this off at triple speed. You know what I probably should have done? Is sent them further down here to block this off, because if this isn't coming through here, then that eliminates basically all bad water until this whatever goes off here. And that's a thing. Okay, well, we're going to go all the way. We might as well go all the way. I don't want to just get rid of that because that's what I just spent so much time doing, but is there going to be a way to get the bots over here without it being a whole ordeal? Pathwise, they only need to be able to walk to it. They don't need to have uninterrupted access by way of trees, or just the thorns block that. Can I get around here? Not really, no. Alright, well, not that I want to get rid of this, but at the same time, I do think it's maybe just a tiny bit more important to block this off here. That should be in range. Alright, time to make you mad. It's gonna be okay, don't worry. We'll put it back. I just need them to actually get to this. Now let's check how things are going down here. No flooding. That's good. This, we already talked about why this is important, and I know I kind of stopped them from working on this. But they also can't reach this because I stopped them from building this ladder. Wait a second. We shouldn't be out of planks. Are we out of planks? I guess we are. Well, you know how to fix that. Is it cheesy? Absolutely. But also, it just works. No, I will not be playing Skyrim on my smart fridge. I don't even own a smart fridge. I don't want to own a smart fridge. If you're confused by that, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Alright, let's get this blocked off here. Wait, if I have that blocked off here, I don't need this here. At all. Not even a tiny bit. Okay, 8 flooded buildings should just be these, and they are good. Unstable cores, we can't do anything oh, whoa, hold up. There's a lot of bot parts over here. Ooh-wee. Well, you know, this is kind of the island of death right here, currently. But we're working on it. Trying to get things done better. Now I'm lost. Where did I... Okay. Come on, logs. Show me the money. We got 30-something logs. Is this full of planks? It is. It is. Let's reattach it to the other district. And then... Oh, there's no haulers to function for that, but that's fine. Alright. Our intrepid warrior battling against the current. Ah, finish the job. Oh, you're out of juice. That's fine. Okay, are they working on this actively? Because the ladder's actually done. Okay, good. Good. That will at least stop bad water from coming in this way. It is going to cause it to build up in here. We might as well, since we have the ability to, you know, appreciate a little bit of carnage, we might as well just take a look at this. Yeah, that was pretty cool. As far as I can tell, no other, you know, tremendously horrible effects, because this isn't high enough to get flooded right now anyway. But it did look neat. Now we have a bad water seep that if we had the ability to get down here to seal up, would probably not be a bad idea. That looks mean. I'll tell you that much. Alright, did this get sealed up? It looks like it did. That... No, it's not going to leak through here. Because this is actually, you know, blocked on this other side, but that looked mean for a second. Alright, so that is going to reduce the amount coming through here. That's good. That means we don't have to be quite so overwhelmed. But... Oh good, this isn't overflowing coming down here. It's just going into the same exit the rest of this stuff is. But this should really help things over here. One little piece at a time. Now, I've got access easily to this relic. That'll get us... Not that we need a ton more science right now. But I think they can reach both of these easily. That's worth doing. Yeah, the next thing we really should do is get over here and start pumping water. Even if this is not a great way to, you know, have stuff irrigated. And then after that, assuming we have enough, you know, pieces to do this, I do want to put in, after I research these double platforms, I want to put in enough stuff to just completely seal this off so we don't have this problem ever again. Sneaky brambles. It's not brambles. Look, I know. How do I want to go about doing this? Because I don't think I can demolish these from... yeah, too far. Okay. It's almost like the person who made this map figured out someone was probably going to try to do this, and they said, not on my watch. So, how can I go about clearing this out? All I really need to do is block... Let's research impermeable floor. And I don't have metal up here, but let's do that. Let's just pop in. I know they can't reach it. Calm down. Why can I not... there we go. So that will defeat that one. This other one, I believe you have to leave space for it to actually, you know, vent into. But that should stop all of that. And this is basically all accessible if we just cross over somewhere over here. Probably the easiest way to do that would be too far from a district. Well, that's not going to be a hard thing to fix. I think that should allow them to get to this side eventually. Yeah, it's looking like that's showing up. The only question is going to be how long does it take them to do that? But that, again, that's really going to help. It's going to stop this from filling up quite as much. And I'm sure, you know, next cycle these are all going to go off at the same time because that's exactly how this works. But looking okay. Pumping going decently well over here. Still got plenty left. We have 1,800 water. I think the best possible thing that could happen would be for this to retain enough water to irrigate everything, but we pump enough to completely fill storage before the temperate cycle begins, and then we can add more storage. And now that we have all these builders here who probably aren't really doing much, we've got 94 metal blocks. I think it's worth investing in the large tanks. Also, you know, we can't forget that we do have this thing that's going to go off in 22 days. And that is going to render these things completely inoperable. And we do still need to get power down here. That is still a concern. But remember that this was set up kind of haphazardly anyway. And if we can prevent bad water from coming through here, like at all, then this would be great farmland. So we don't have to have the power come all the way out to here. We just need it to go to this aquifer drill, which it already, theoretically, comes to this spot. We just need to get power pretty much to the edge of the number cruncher, which is convenient because that is not that far away. We've got 400 here. We've got 400 here that would not be that hard for us to get to. And we probably should make this our next target for building. But to get to it, surrounded on all sides, effectively, by thorns, not brambles. And I think, yeah, we're going to have to get down here and then probably replace the, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's try putting stairs there, because I'd want this to be a straight line, or straight line as possible path for everything. Let's do, yeah, that there. That there. That there. And then that is going to... Okay, that's actually going to not be a perfect straight line path, but this will get us across here. And then here would probably be a decent place to do vertical power shaft if we just blocked that off. Okay, we actually don't need this. Stop that. I'll just route it through here, which, you know, maybe I shouldn't have done that exactly that way. Okay, vertical power shaft's going to require that we build from the top down after a certain point. This requires a bunch of gears and stuff. I also, you know, should not forget we can use row houses to communicate power. If we are truly desperate, we just stack these up. I don't think we need to be worried like that, but I will go ahead and place in all these vertical power shafts so we can get started. And that will bring us basically up to where we need to go. Transferring across this way may actually not be as easy as just... yeah, I'll tell you what. I know this is going to drive you absolutely nuts. I'm just going to do this. Because then I don't have to worry about... Well, we can still demolish that. That blockage has to go. Ha! Ha! Remember when I said, oh no, I don't need to get rid of these? Yeah, well, you know what? Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Remember that one? I digress. I need them to get down here, so this is actually not that bad of a thing. I'll just make a path to the side. We can just replace it at some point later. This would be a great thing to have these bots doing, but we have enough extra beavers. I'm not afraid of a couple of them getting injured. Just have to make our way through here. Straight line path involves more demolition of brambles, yes, but it's going to be okay. Did I, okay, well, I'm not married to doing this way. Let's just avoid doing that. We can have this be stairs and then take the stairs out, put power access to it. It's not that big of a deal. Alright. This especially not going to be that big of an issue. But I will need to actually have come through here. Okay, they can do that from the bottom. Not an issue. That's fine. Did they manage to plug this up yet? Not quite. Getting pretty close, though. That one's waiting. Oh, I don't have metal blocks. That's going to be a problem. I bet you can't guess how I'm going to solve that problem. I'll give you a hint. Wait, are you coming to get planks? I'll let you get your planks, if you are. Okay. That will be tremendously helpful. Okay, this is actually almost done. I am impressed. And they've got this connected. That's good. These guys are chugging away down here, making some nice progress, getting us plenty of scrap metal. This is still looking okay. This guy's done pumping. That can be done there. Yeah, we got 7 days left. 7.5 days left, and they've sucked basically all of the available water besides the deep bits. So it's about to be time to swap these guys out. Let's just go ahead and do that. I will do a single beaver, because it looks like our storage in this district is... That's the caps lock key. That's the wrong button. Storage in this district is basically full anyway, so just one beaver there is fine. I did want to build the larger tanks, but I think the metal blocks are probably a little bit better served. At least for now, making sure we can export up here to build the rest of this stuff. I do want these guys to have a small stash. This one is basically... Oh, they're waiting on logs? They shouldn't be that hard up for logs. Because it's only singles. Okay. Well. We'll get there. It's going to be alright. We need to get power across here to have access to this. That is something... Well, that's also going to require logs. Do I... do I really want to... You already know what the answer is. You already know. Okay, trees probably worth... is this really going to be... Yeah, I'm not going to get that much more range coming up here. Cutting-wise doesn't really matter if they can't plant it. What's our tunnel look like? Just out of curiosity. Okay, still full up to about here. None of that's coming from up top anymore. It's all coming from here. These two things, and then I think there's some other whatever. But this is still flowing in. Oh, episode's already over an hour. Already over an hour. All we can do is just wait. Same two flooded buildings. Okay, which unstable core is in 10 days now? Ah, this one, yes. Somebody said, oh, do something about this. It's too far away to really be worth worrying about. But we can double check. Come on, autosave. Yeah, all that does is just remove this, this ancient aquifer drill and the aquifer upon which it sits. Which is regrettable, but not the end of the world. There's plenty of aquifers other places. Alright, how about what's going on here? Let's give these guys a fighting chance to actually accomplish something. Put that there. Path for the thing. That's completely straight. Oh yeah, I planned it that way. What might actually make more sense... Okay, no, because I have to get rid of this. I was going to say I'll just put stairs. But no, that's not going to work. Have to actually get those guys down there. I'll leave that there. That should be fine. I guess I don't have to have the this much taken out. I just have to be able to access things. So much to think about. That's alright. We can probably pre-build most of this power shaft in areas that it's not going to be super problematic to build. This will be fine to here. No, that's brambles. Not brambles, whatever. Look, I'm just always going to call them brambles. That's how it goes. Okay, we can almost access that. This is not flooded, but it's got soybeans and water in it. That might be worth having. Okay, did they close this up? No, they did not, because somebody did not connect the metal storage. That's full. Looks like we're bringing in logs. I guess I can let them... Oh. I told them to put logs in here, but now the builders are just taking them away as fast as they're being put in. Well, is what it is. Let's see if the number goes up. If it starts going down, I'm gonna... Okay, yeah. Gotta pull the plug. Even though they can probably still come through here and take stuff away. Anyway. That should be fine. Wow, they built that with a quickness. Look at them go. Yeah, just make sure this is popped in correctly. Yeah, this is, maybe not the best way to do this, but it's the way that we are going to do it. Do we want access to the pine? Oh, we absolutely do want access to the pine resin here. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's instead... No, I can't put that there. I'm going to have this be held up so I can put a path under it to here. I don't have to do it this way, but I'm going to do it that way. Okay, they are still working on that. That's fine. I guess I'll just go ahead and demolish those. It's going to be alright. Don't need to worry about it. Yeah, I just want this to be slightly not terrible, if at all possible. Let's leave that alone. You know what I could do, since we have enough stuff to make this not completely horrible. Assuming we do still want to be able to get underneath all this, I could just have this all be elevated. Do want access to that there. I know that's going to be gone. I just need to be able to get the beavers down here to build stuff without it being a whole ordeal. Yeah, that's being removed. That's being removed. This needs to be removed. Okay, just double check how everything else is going. Alright. Yep, pumping fine. This is about to run out of water, so let's get that opening back up. This is filling, but it's not the end of the world. This has still not been... Seriously? How did I... Did I miss something? Okay, that one has been blocked off. Where's the rest of this coming from? I know I took that one out. I took that one out. Oh, really? Really? Okay. That's on me. That's on me. That will stop that nonsense immediately. I can't believe I... Okay. I kind of can. But now that that is finally done. Alright. Still nothing coming through here except here. Oh, you know what else we could do is probably block this off. Do I want to? Not really, but I'm going to. Alright. Okay, this is a seep. We can defeat this. Not that easily from above, but I need to check and see what I'm going to have to... Oh, wait, hold on. It's not going to be that difficult. All I've got to do is that, and that will defeat that. Okay, well that's like a permanent solution too. Can they actually reach this? They can. Oh, I love it. I love it. We're making progress, folks. We are making progress. Well, we're always making progress. It's just a matter of how good the progress is. Who got stranded? Look. Just don't do that. Don't be like that. It costs $0 not to be like that. This 52%. 700 beavers is still fine. I know it says 15 vacancies. That's okay. This is leftover water because... Okay, this is a dam. I guess what I should know, that this has not gone down at all, which means this is a positive water source. I can only assume, and that's an aquifer thing right there. We probably should take advantage of that. So if this is a good water source, what we should do is remove this dam, which we will have access to once the path is connected. And that will allow this to have clean water. That's a great thing that I had only just now considered. It's not going to hold a ton, but it will hold a decent amount here, and I probably... Well, you know, bad tide's still going to be bad tide activities. Wait, no, that's exactly what... No, okay, hold on. This is a drain. It has to be a drain. Because it's not draining. That's why it's a drain, because it doesn't work, because it's a bad tide. Okay. So, I don't want to get rid of this then, because that's going to drain this completely. Then all I need to do, if it's a drain, that means we're never going to have to worry about it. All I need to do is make sure I can get this pumping out. Do I have clearance? I didn't even bother checking. Oh. I don't have enough clearance for this. Okay, so that means for me to build this, I think I have to demolish this right here. If I blast that, because remember, there's no bad water ever going to come through here ever again. If I blast that, then I can, hopefully, yeah, then I can put an aquifer pump here. Unless I need to do one more, but that for sure is not going to be an issue. Because I know I can already get to that. Yeah, so then I don't want this. I want to block this off. Not that it's really going to be that possible to do it. What kind of... Tunneling's not unlocked yet. That is, well, for now, we probably don't need to worry about it quite as much. We'll just let this drain what it needs to drain. And then we'll leave the dam in place because it is not a blockage. This will just drain. We'll get clean water in here, and then this will just perpetually drain through here or spill over. Okay, game did not need to be paused for that entire time. I understand, but just... I am trying so hard for things not to go poorly. I appreciate your patience. Might as well just have this go up and over the path. Yes, I could just build stairs on top of the path. Yeah, but too late. We'll just do this. The beavers having a more direct path, I think, is probably a little bit more valuable than saving a couple resources on power, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's put in this platform here and put that there, and then as soon as this is removed and get them down here, yeah, triple speed it. I think we've already made a decent enough number of improvements for this to be a pretty good thing. Alright, we don't have access to this quite yet, but we are about to. There we go. Now they're going to come bring this stuff out. Explosives don't have storage, but planks do. Let's make a little storage for explosives closer to the district center. Move those so we can actually use some of those if we want. In this same district, I already highlighted where. And now, this is a dam, which means this piece right here is going to keep this from filling up. It's going to have it go off down the side. Do I want to blow this piece right here up? That would flood this whole cavern. What is accessible down here is some ruins, kind of, if I remove these reserve warehouses, which I probably should. This actually is not accessible because of the slope. But that's probably fine. Once this gets removed, yeah, then I can just remove the slope as well and put a platform there. Anyway, point being, I'm going to blow this up so this can fill with water. I think I should be able to build power shafts from almost anywhere here. Just matters which side of this I want to connect to. This is going to be a really suboptimal routing, but I don't think it matters. I'm not going to wait for that one to get cut down. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Just build around all of this. Guess we'll just let this be what it's going to be. Yeah, they can still reach that. Fine. We can just build stairs over it. Who cares? Just trying to find a decent spot to route all this. Hopefully not get super distracted by the rest of what's going on, but you know how that's probably going to go. Then I suppose, depending on how I want to run this, so just have it go down into here. Make sure I pause 2 of these so I can actually get in. I just have to get down to it. Which means probably to build what I want to build, putting in stairs here that should be accessible, and then just bring this over to here, and then that connects there. And I know it's circuitous, ugly, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be okay. 3-day unstable core. That's that one we already kind of didn't care about. Take that off at triple speed. I'm just trying to juggle best I can. This is done pumping. I don't know that it's really worth turning these pumps off. Yeah, I'll just leave that one going. These weren't... yeah, okay, this is actually... It's doing decently well. The first oaks that have been cut down are... Thank you, autosave. Slowly being replaced. I meant to, replace more of these pines, but I didn't get around to it. I also can't really continuously monitor this and do all these things at the same time. Okay, that was removed. That's good, because I do have to get into here. Let's give them stairs to build this, and then the rest of this we'll just have to... Oh, good, they finished that. Alright, now that we have access to this, relic can go away, and then we can get this hooked up here. That should not be an issue. And this will drain. That's a source, not a seep, so we can't really do anything about that, but that is fine. I don't think they can change strength, so that shouldn't be an issue. Although, who knows, I kind of can't take anything for granted, huh? Let's give this a fighting chance here. That's not marked. This is also not marked. These guys are going. Do we not have... Oh, wow, we have a surprising amount of resources. Got water reserve over here. Okay, so I have less than a day left. I'm going to send these guys in for pumping here. 16 vacancies. Oh, boy. Well, fortunately, we can absorb some of that with builders' huts. Inventors, etc. We got 6,000 science. This will be shut off when the regular cycle starts. I hope you guys like these videos being longer, because they're definitely not going to be shorter. Yeah, I know we still haven't gone over here, still haven't really done much over here, but we've kind of fixed some of this. Obviously, when this becomes an issue, then it'll be really an issue. But we do have this outlet for the time being, and that will prevent most of a disaster from happening as long as we can get something built here, but this isn't a problem yet. I just want to make sure that this is going to be able to get done. Maybe not in the next half a day, but they can absolutely do most of this. So that come across to there. I don't know that this is still going to be in range. No, it is. Okay. I think we can leave that alone. Did we get all of this out? No, I did not tell a single beaver to get that out. Well, probably should go ahead and... that's not the right one. Go ahead and get that started, huh? This has been picked up. That can be demolished. Not that I really want to babysit this, but I probably am going to have to. Yeah, because bots work 24/7. Doesn't matter. I do want to be able to get this scrap metal out. No sense wasting it. And 80-some%. Come on. There we go. That can get built. Maybe it doesn't need to be a super huge priority, but I'm making it one. Anyhow, working on this. Too far, cannot be reached. Because why? Because I can't get through here. Okay, well that is gonna have to be solved by doing that. That still says it can't be reached? Why is that? Oh, there we go. I know. I know. It's real hard to juggle all this stuff at once. I know most of you understand that. But we're about to be up in cycle 11. And this, actually did a full cycle in... I think we did a full cycle in one episode. It's been a while since we did that. Why are you thirsty? You should not be thirsty. At any rate, cycle 11 begins this... Oh, good lord, this video is an hour and 24 minutes. Yikes! Alright. Pause power consumption buildings. 1445 is still way too much. We did make explosives. We did fill that up. Let's pause the explosive maker. 1295 isn't really that big of an issue. We want to keep that going. But I do really want that to be a thing, so I'm going to pause the power for the smelter. Yep, that'll solve that problem. These are mostly looking good. Mostly, not entirely, but I do think having this completely finished... Oh, of course we don't have any gears. Having this completely finished is going to be a great thing. I bet you can't guess what I'm about to do. Well, that's right. Build it. Okay, how are we doing here? They're making progress clearing that. Okay, we're set up pretty well for this. We did get the science. Don't need to feel super bad about how this is going. They will absolutely strand themselves on top of this cliff because they're idiots, so I'm going to let them do that before changing anything else. This getting blocked off was actually really great, and I should have celebrated that more. I really want to get back into this cavern, because I really want to block these off. But we made some really good progress, and I really don't want to stop. Because I desperately wanted this to be functioning, but, you know, you can only do so much. I just need the gears. Just bring me the gears. Bring me the gears. Bring me a gear. A single gear. One gear. One gear. Or 9, or 18. That works. Okay. Now they can do that. All right, bad water is draining. This is no longer doing anything, so that should substantially improve things here. These are pumping in. They are getting 100% power. Food is still looking good. Water, well, could have been a whole lot better, but we prioritized a little differently than perhaps we should have. But we're looking okay. We're not too far away from having some power come back in, which is a good thing because, ladies and gentlemen, 13 days. Next episode, this thing's going to go off. And before it does, we need to make sure we harvest the materials because they're absolutely going to go away. And then we will have some other choices to make. But I am very, very, very confident that within those 13 days, we will have the power from this geothermal engine, at the very least, combined possibly with this one. And depending on how nasty we want to get, this one as well. Look at this. Look at this. The water is being sucked away. And that's being exploded, which means I can put one of these in. So we could have some nice clean water. We'll do this next time. But we could have some nice clean water populating this pretty soon, which would be great to have extra sources up here. Did they build this? Now they did. And then they're going to build this. Which means we have a super stupid long episode. But getting that finished would be tremendously good. Who died tragically? How did you... Oh, you were infected. Or were you? Okay, well that's the story we're going to run with, is that you were infected. Because there's absolutely no reason... Wait, no, it wasn't even... Okay, I call foul. Okay, hold on, pause. There is no way, with 1,200 water and 1,500 food, this beaver died of hunger and thirst, without also being infected, going to the paused Farm Upstate infected district center. What the heck happened here? I don't know. Please tell me I'm lost. Okay, well, nothing we can do about that. I am just beyond ready for this to be pumping, and I want to make sure that's done. Okay, they have access to this. I don't exactly have an extra bot to be able to do this with. I'm going to pause this lumberjack flag so we can get builders back in. I need them to finish this. I absolutely must have it done. That's done, that's done, that's done. I can demolish this at any point in time. I just need some water in here to prove that I'm not completely incompetent. Alright. Too far from a district and cannot be... Oh. I wonder why that's the case. See, this is why you kind of have to babysit these things. Just need them to get the rest of it done in the correct order, or nothing goes right. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to day 2 of Cycle 11. Welcome to at this point, minute 90 of the recording. We're gonna get it done! I told you we're gonna get it done. Alright, alright, you're connected, you're connected. You're about to be connected. And this, of course, they can't reach it. Tragic. Well, now they can! Come forth and remove the trees so I can put wood back in that exact same spot. Come on down. Come on down. You know you want to. These people want to go home. They got stuff to do. They got families to go feed. Come on. Yes! Yes! Ha 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 ha! We have clean water up at the top. And yes, a lot of it's going to go off the edge of the map, but that is the way it goes. We can come over here and remove this, in theory, if we want to send somebody down there. But for now, we have something. And that is tremendous. We'll improve upon that. We'll get more power. We'll get everything hooked up appropriately. But we also have this. Look at us go. Look at us go. Aren't we something? Now I can just get the rest of this popped in here because they can't get up there. They can't get hurt. That's gonna be a-okay. This rebel's about to go in the most stupid location imaginable. Actually, no. Okay. Well, sorry, game, for maligning you unfairly. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good. This can be paused so it doesn't overflow. Folks, I'm going to put this in the foreground because I can, even though this is almost certainly going to start spilling over. We have done so much stuff this episode. We haven't even gotten to everything I wanted to get into. Somebody mentioned removing the spires in the geothermal fields with tunnels because it'll collapse the dirt. We can do that when we get there. I just never had the chance to get to that. But we did so much stuff. I'm feeling really good. And I know, still slow progress. Still, not super optimal play. But we're doing it the way we want to do it. And so far, nothing completely horrible has happened except that one beaver who mysteriously died, and we don't know why. So I appreciate you sticking with the series. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your thoughtful, insightful comments. And I hope you'll stick around as we have plenty more coming from these guys. Plenty more coming from the water beavers. And getting back into some Transport Fever 2 with some mods this time. Doing those streams kind of irregularly, but those are happening most likely going to be Tuesdays, Thursdays, weekends, evening times, weekends in the afternoon maybe if I can manage to do it. But we'll see. Got plenty of fun stuff, and I'm thankful for you. Have a great rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. Stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.